It's Nolan. What's going on, y'all? It's the kid J Nolan here. We're going to get into a VMA recap in just a moment, but I want to open this video up and give a big shout out to Victoria Monet. Okay, this morning she came out and there was a lot of fans that actually wanted to see her last night at the VMAs performing her hit single On My Mama. Unfortunately, they were robbed of that experience, and she came out and told the people exactly why she wasn't there. Her and her team did have some communication with MTV and the VMAs. However, they just didn't feel like the timing was right this year. So let's get into what Victoria had to say. She says, "I see your advocacy for me to have performed tonight, and I'm so grateful to you. Sincerely. My team was told it's quote unquote too early in my story for that opportunity, so we will keep working. I'm grateful for you, for my tour starting this Friday, and the ability to see some of my favorite people perform tonight and receive the love they so deserve. For me, it's part of the story and in God's time." You would expect nothing less from Victoria Monet. Very classy, definitely a class act. She's going to take it on the chin and just continue to work. I mean, that's been the story for her entire career. I mean, she's been active in the space, in the music space, for over 10 years, right? She had to play the background writing songs for Ariana Grande. She's written songs for K-pop acts like Blackpink. So many others out there lending her hard-earned, God-given talents to others and letting them shine. They're getting number one hits. They're getting tours. They're getting put on the platforms that she would love to be. But now we're just now getting to see her talent, right? Now, Victoria has like 5 solo projects. Majority of them are EPs. In 2020, I believe she released the Jaguar project, which really put her out there in front of a lot of people. That's when I really became familiar with her as well, not gonna lie. Now with Jaguar 2, she's got a hit single. I mean, she's got 3 singles that are popular from the project, but of course, On My Mama is the one that's standing out the most. It's got the viral TikTok situation. Everybody's learning the choreography. It's hit the top 100 charts. It was already in the top 200 charts. She's been blazing up the hip hop and R&B plus the R&B charts. So it does seem like, based on how they set up the VMAs last night, she would have definitely been par of the course, because there were some other artists that we had never, or at least let me speak for myself, that I had never seen or really heard of that got the VMA stage. Someone who's pretty much just as new as Victoria Monet that was out there was Callie with her song Area Codes, which is another viral TikTok hit. Callie released her first project ever as an artist in 2021. However, she was out there and she got to perform twice. She performed Area Codes, then she came back out on stage at a later time, and she did a song that I had never even heard before. There was also a rock band out there by the name of The Warning, who I enjoyed, but they also performed twice. They had like the little, you know how we get the BET these days, they have the main stage, and then they have the stage for the independent artists where they perform like half a song. MTV did the same thing for Callie. They did the same for The Warning. They did the same for a couple of other bands, right? Now, of course, I'm not well versed in the rock community, but when I looked up The Warning, right, it's not like they have a huge track record of success. They've been around for a long time, but they didn't get real good recognition until 2022. So trying to use the "it's too early in your story" excuse for Victoria and her team, I don't think that that was genuine. I think that was some BS, and I don't think that it was fair. Like, just say maybe next year, get us a bigger hit. Like, be honest with motherfuckers. Don't say it's too early in the story, because her story predates a lot of motherfuckers out today. She just makes it look really good. She just makes it look young and joyful, but she's been here forever. Now, moving right along from the Victoria Monet situation, getting into the actual show that took place last night, I will say that the VMAs was actually pretty enjoyable. Typically, I don't watch the MTV VMAs or anything that they have going on, because I feel like a lot of times the show is just extremely whitewashed, and although I do appreciate all forms of music, I don't appreciate when black artists, when hip hop artists, and those of us that are actually creating the number one rated style and genre of music in the world at this point are just being completely overlooked. So this year was a grand surprise. Number one, they had Nicki Minaj hosting it. So that was like, okay, y'all dipping y'all toes in the pool. When we made it to the show, we didn't really see a lot of Nicki Minaj hosting. A lot of the awards and presentations and stuff like that, presenters, They were other people, but she did have a couple of times on the mic, but she didn't really have a lot of monologues. She didn't really do a lot of comedy. So the expectation that's generally set for a host at the MTV VMAs, I wouldn't say that she met the expectation. That's not to say that she didn't do a good job in the role that she played. I'm just saying that they heavily reduced and minimized her role, and I don't really get why. Maybe it's because of the writer's strike, but again, the presenters read shit off of the teleprompter very well, so it's not like they had a lack of script. I thought it was very classy of the VMAs to have Nicki Minaj hosting and still have Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion perform bongos and let them do their thing despite her being the host, not allowing any of their personal issues or their misunderstandings to hinder the quality of the show. I will say that I'm still not crazy about that record, even with the performance, even though it was a good performance. They did a great job. I just don't personally see anything saving that song for me. Y'all can feel free to let me know how you feel about that in the comments, but I'm just not feeling that record. Lil Wayne actually opened up the show with a pretty dope performance of his new single. Thought that was really dope. He did a great job. Wayne is an excellent performer. Would expect nothing less. He made another appearance during the Hip Hop 50 tribute, which I'll get into in just a little bit. I felt like the Hip Hop 50 tribute was a little underwhelming, especially with all of the different award shows going all out. They definitely said we have an 8-minute time limit for y'all and we're not going over, and anybody that doesn't hit us back immediately, we're not booking them. So that part of the show was not my favorite. Wayne did come back out and he did a Millie, which I thought was dope. Nicki Minaj did Red Ruby the Sleeves, another one of her old mixtape joints, Itty Bitty Piggy or something like that. Cool. Other notable acts from the evening, I think Doja Cat did an excellent job. She came out and did her song Attention, which was cool. She came out of the crowd. She had everybody ready. They really wanted to see her do Demons, but she did a trio of records. So she came out and did Attention, did a great job with that, made her way to the stage. She went to Paint the Town Red, did a good job, and then she did the Demon song. A lot of people, even me in particular, when I first saw that she did the song called Demons and I heard the hook, I was like, I'm not fucking with that song. It's actually kind of catchy, and I know my religious folk out there, they probably still not fucking with it, but when you listen to the lyrics in the verses, it's not like a seance. It's nothing demonic that she says in the verses. She just says how my demons look in the hook. And honestly, a lot of people have contributed to demon being like a very common term in hip hop over the last 5 years. Everybody was on demon time at one point, so I can't really criticize her for that because she's just taking the colloquialisms that are in the culture and turning it into something else. So she did a great job though. I will say that out of those 3 singles that she's released so far, it doesn't really get me super hyped for her album that's on the way, the Scarlet Project. I'm quite sure it's going to be good. I mean, she's talented. The songs are not bad. None of them have been terrible, but they just haven't been great, right? Now, I know she's kind of moving away from the more pop heavy, majority singing style of music that she was doing the last couple of years. She wants to show people that she can be a high functioning, high level hip hop artist, that she can rap. I understand that, but I just feel like the quality of the music has kind of taken a step backwards as she's trying to prove that point. Hopefully the album overall can prove me wrong though. Like I said, the records are not bad. They're just not great. Taylor Swift won Video of the Year in a category that had Doja Cat, Miley Cyrus, Nicki Minaj, Olivia Rodrigo, Sam Smith. I mean, I felt like the Video of the Year category was a little bit light. Wasn't surprised that Taylor Swift won it, but I also felt like, here we go with this white princess shit. They need that at them MTVs. You know what I mean? It just comes with the territory, I suppose. She also got Song of the Year with the song Anti-Hero, which I don't recall hearing like that, but culturally different. Ice Spice won Best New Artist. I wasn't too surprised by that, but Glorilla was up there. Peso Pluma was up there. You know what I mean? They could kind of compete, but it was pretty clear that Ice Spice was going to get that. She's been the breakout artist for the last year or two. Nicki Minaj won Best Hip Hop for Super Freaky Girl. Once again, that category was definitely light. I mean, you're telling me that DJ Khaled featuring Drake and Lil Baby was a Best Hip Hop nominee for this past year? Lil Wayne, Swiss Beats, and DMX, Can't Nobody. I don't recall anybody playing that song, and I love all 3 artists on that record. So they definitely must have had something in the contract for Nicki to win it with Super Freaky Girl. I mean, it is the biggest record out of that collection, but I just feel like the category could have definitely been constructed a little bit better. Last night was also a big shift in TV, not just TV, but music in general, because there was a lot of K-pop activity in the VMAs, right? We saw Stray Kids get up there, who actually was my favorite act of the night almost, because they got up there and was really going in. They was rapping, they could sing, they could dance. It was very tight. And it wasn't pretty music, right? Like you hear BTS, you hear some of the other stuff that comes out from the K-pop market, and it's all like very pretty. It was more like gritty hip hop. It was more like gritty rock. It was like, damn, all right. So they like the anti BTS. I'm with that. It seems like Tomorrow Together is like the favorite in that category. They also went out there and they did their best Michael Jackson impression. I actually wasn't too thrilled about it, but I said, hey man, they're dedicated to the dance. They're dedicated to the act. I can't really be mad at it. I have an entire video that I'm planning to do about the whole K-pop methodology as they're bringing them over to America and trying to take this thing global. There's a competition that's trying to create the biggest girl group in the world. There's definitely an agenda at play. This is about to become the trend moving over to the US and other nations. So for those of y'all that may not be so familiar with these K-pop acts, number one, get ready to see more of them. And number two, get ready to see more similar styles of groups and bands in this fashion, because the labels are definitely investing in groups again. But it's not the groups that look like us. It's not the groups that look like 112, Jagged Edge, Boys to Men, Jodeci. It's not that type of vibe, okay? Just so you already know and understand. This ties in with the video I made a couple weeks back saying how the labels are divesting from hip hop. They're not looking for as many rappers. Yeah, it's because they're looking at these other folks. I'll get to that later. But on the surface, you know, I don't want to throw shade at them. I don't want to say anything negative or disparaging about them. They're out here working super hard. They're putting a lot of time and work in to learn these dance routines. They're hitting the studio. People are writing these records for them. But what I do like from what I've learned about Stray Kids, there's a core within that group of 3 guys that actually write and produce all the music for the group. I highly respect that, right? Because they're not just being fed content and going in the studio and making some shit. I gotta salute that. As y'all know, on my channel, I don't really talk about people's outfits or how they looked on the red carpet or anything like that. If you want to get those type of recaps, there's probably plenty of people on YouTube that are doing that, especially the ladies. That's not my vibe. So if you need a little bit more details about what everybody had on, their makeup, critiques of the looks and all of that type of stuff, you're not going to get it here, but I suggest that you click on somebody else's video and get that fix that you're looking for. But before I go, I do want to say that Hip Hop 50, it was good while it lasted, right? Now, LL Cool J did an excellent job doing I'm Bad, Mama Said Knock You Out, dope. Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5, did a good job, but when it came to doing Melly Mel's The Message, I did not enjoy hearing all 5 of them singing along to the record. That is a solo song. Let the lead man take the wheel. I understand y'all up there as a crew, but let that man do his shit. LL Cool J had to replace Rev Run with DMC to do the Run DMC Walk This Way. I was a little disappointed by that. I guess Run has retired from performing though. I guess there's nothing that you could really do about that. I salute LL for getting up there and taking the spot, taking the mantle, but I would have loved to have seen Run DMC in their full light. Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick, I mean, they were out there for all of like 2 minutes. I really would have loved for them to do Children's Story or something like that, you know what I'm saying, rather than the show. I understand that the show is the record that put both of them on, but, you know, I wish they would have had a chance to like get into a little bit more of their bag real quick. Then it goes to Nicki Minaj, Lil Wayne, and that was pretty much the size of it. I thought that the Hip Hop 50 thing could have went a little longer. They could have had a couple other artists along the way to show the diversity of the genre and how it's changed and transformed over the last 50 years. It was like they skipped hella eras in between. Of course, this is VMAs, not the BET Awards, but just in general as a consumer and just because they were promoting it the entire time, I was a little underwhelmed. They did honor Diddy, gave him his Icon Award. He came out and did, you know, a litany of his hits, and that's cool too. You know what I mean? His son came out and got to be his dad's shadow, and that's who he wants to be. I thought that was dope as well. You know, it was easier on the eyes to watch it now that we know that Diddy's giving a lot of those artists on Bad Boy their publishing back and trying to at least make something right, even if it was late as fuck in the game. But all in all, even with my criticism set aside, I thought it was a good show. I even enjoyed the artists that I did not know of, the rock acts, the different bands, the international artists like Anita, Shakira did an amazing job out there. So it was a well done show. It was a couple glitches in the matrix that I wouldn't say I enjoyed all that much, but I take that with a grain of salt because overall it was a dope show. All right. Let me know what y'all think down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the post notification bell for all updates, and I will see y'all on the next one, all right? Much love and respect, y'all. Peace.